Good evening, folks. It's Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project and Magnetic Reversal News, bringing you a grand solar minimum update Saturday, December 28th, 3 p.m. Mountain Time 2019. The GFS models are in. The big winner is going to be Minnesota and North Dakota with the widest swath of 14 to 18 inches predicted, according to the model. And then take a look at these totals up in Canada. Holy macaroni. Keep calm. It's boom time. There's a look outside the door right here, Wolf Creek Pass, live. I tell you, I wouldn't want to be up there driving without my chains. Millions of people brace for snow and freezing rain from Arizona to Michigan. Similar to the model I just showed you. Rain, wind, and snow and ice will present significant travel hazards as a potent winter storm makes its way across the central U.S., says CNN meteorologist Haley Brink. Almost 20 million people from Arizona to Michigan are under winter weather alerts Saturday. Let's take a look. Winter storm brings significant travel hazards from the Rockies to the upper Midwest and Northeast this weekend. A winter storm will intensify as it shifts across the plain into the upper Midwest this weekend. Heavy snow and blowing snow with areas of freezing rain further south will cause slippery road conditions, reduce visibility along north of the storm track. Areas of the freezing rain will also become possible over New York and interior New England by Sunday, where another storm will take hold into your Monday and Tuesday, which could be your lose day in Maine. We'll get to that. By the way, click on your counties at weather.gov for watches and warnings in your region if you're worried. We have freeze warnings up here in the purple and hard freeze warnings down here in Arizona. Freezing in the north, freezing in the south. Here's the snowfall analyzer. Do you remember when I said that? Yeah, so do I. Big winter is southwest Colorado with areas picking up 30 to 36 inches here. Just not in my region. We only got a few inches, couple of inches. I'll take some footage and I'll show you. But you can see that heavy snow moving up into South Dakota and North Dakota, which is going to converge on Minnesota overnight. So only 4 to 6 inches ahead of the storm currently in many of those areas. Winter weather storm to blanket nation's middle, delay flights from Colorado to Minnesota. A powerful winter storm will strike from Colorado to Minnesota by Sunday, bringing up to 16 inches of snow to some areas along with ice, slippery roads, and reduced visibility, the National Weather Service says. Heavy snow and gusty winds could produce whiteout conditions for much of Sunday in places like Fargo, North Dakota. The harsh weather will make driving difficult for holiday travelers heading home across the target areas, especially along portions of Interstate 76, 80, and 90 in Colorado, Nebraska, and South Dakota. So heads up there. In Platte, Nebraska, in the weekend's weather bullseye, the local National Weather Service office says winds could gust as high as 45 miles per hour on Sunday. Borderline blizzard conditions. Blowing snow today with blizzard-like conditions from northern El Paso County to Denver and the Eastern Plains as this snow moves its way north. Two-part storm will bring several inches of snow to Maine in the early part of the week. And the big winner is going to be Tuesday, your lose day. There's your 8 a.m. Most areas north of Portland will be snowing, including New Hampshire, Vermont, and the Dax. And that's boom. GFS model The big snow winter here is coming in. Look at northern Idaho there, picking up more than 4 feet of snow by Saturday and Sunday, January 4th and 5th. Could be an epic weekend, the first week of January in northern Idaho, as well as Washington State, picking up big numbers here on the models. So that snow is going to continue to linger in the Four Corners region as it moves north up through Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota, and linger for a while as it moves a little bit of light snow across Iowa, Wisconsin, and then Michigan, and the Northeast is going to be hit Monday. Like I said, they're the totals, biggest totals appearing to be in northern New Hampshire. All the links will be below. Forces from Earth's spin may spark earthquakes and volcanic eruptions at Mount Etna. That's a lot. New research suggests forces pulling on Earth's surface as the planet spins may trigger earthquakes and eruptions at the volcano. Now, Earth's spin doesn't always line up perfectly with its north and south poles. Instead, the geographic poles often twirl like a top around Earth's rotational axis when viewed from space. Every 6.4 years, the axes line up and the wobble fades for a short time until the geographic poles move away from the spin axis and begin to spiral once again. So they're finding this pattern is triggering Etna's eruptions, and they're going to use it for further study. Seismic update. No quakes of note. Thankfully, all is quiet on the worldwide front. Worldwide volcano news update. Same there. Come over to Worldwide Volcano News for updates on currently erupting volcanoes at any time. Popo activity is high. We showed you some video earlier in the week of magma spewing for 60 minutes, I think. Stanford researchers have an exciting plan to tackle the climate emergency worldwide. Well, Stanford is out of touch. Animals, including koalas, are being killed by us. And CO2? Are you out of your mind, Stanford? That's embarrassing. And so this hypothetical study, using the latest data available, have outlined how 143 countries around the world can switch to 100% clean energy by 2050. Whatever clean energy is. It's all results in some dirt, some pollution somewhere. It's nonsense. Stanford is nonsense. Man-made climate change, nonsense. Now, what is this nonsense? There's a Texas-sized area of hot seawater off the coast of New Zealand, and it's your fault. I'm sure you've seen the headline. Well, let's just break it down. This is a recurring pattern. It's been going on, according to this article. They have data going back to 1924 of such patterns. But these blobs are increasing in size and time. But they've been going on for 100 years. And it's not your fault. It's called climate cycles, ocean cycles. And just the way they speak about it as if it's so unique. I don't even know. It's amazing. But it's been happening all the time. There are likely no survivors in Hawaii tour helicopter crash. We reported on this yesterday. Search resumes for the 7th victim. Apparently they found 6 of the victims. So, no good news there. Massive explosion in Somalia's capital kills 79. There's no good news there either. The rise of America's secret government. The deadly legacy of ex-CIA Director Allen Dulles. Will the video dull us? Will it even load? It's anyone's guess.
Goodman. It's been over half a century since Allen Dulles resigned as director of the CIA, but his legacy lives on. Between 1953 and 61, under his watch, the CIA overthrew the governments of Iran and Guatemala, invaded Cuba, was tied to the killing of Patrice Lumumba, Congo's first democratically elected leader. A new biography of Allen Dulles looks at how his time at the CIA helped shape the current national security state. Biographer David Talbot writes, quote, "The Allen Dulles story continues to haunt the country. Many of the practices that still provoke bouts of American soul-searching originated during Dulles' formative rule at the CIA." Talbot goes on to write, mind control experimentation, torture, political assassination, extraordinary rendition, mass surveillance of U.S. citizens and foreign allies. These were all widely used tools of the Dulles Reign. Well, David Talbot joins us now to talk about his new book, The Devil.
Sound familiar? It's ongoing. If you want to know more, I'll leave you links to the article below and the video. Democracy Now! It's amazing. This ancient mnemonic technique builds a palace of memory. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's the reason why we've only had written language recently. Native cultures did not need written language because they passed down traditions orally. The shaman, the leaders, the teachers, the priests, those were the ones with the information. And this can be proven today. It's not an opinion. The memory skills of indigenous elders exceed anything reported for the ancient Greeks. Research with the Native American Navajo people, for example, shows that they memorize a classification of more than 700 insects, along with identification, habitats, and behavior. And that's just insects. A fully initiated indigenous elder would be able to relate stories equivalent to a field guide for all the birds, mammals, reptiles, fish, and hundreds of insects within their indigenous environment. Amazing. Want to know more? Check out the article. It's awesome. Been doing some research on the Chaco roads, the Chacoan roads, the Great North Road. A cosmographic expression of the Chaco culture of New Mexico is an amazing read. I implore you all, people interested in your ancient paths or the ancient past, to read the paper. It's an amazing reveal on what Native peoples in North America were doing. Quite recently, 1,000 years ago, they had a massive road system. Decline is now inevitable. Dennis Meadows on the limits to growth. Now, I'm going to bring this to your attention because this graph is very telling. I just posted a video last night on everything you need to know about all the coming catastrophes, everything that's coming. What does it mean? What's the timeline? And it corresponds to this timeline. In 1971, 50 years ago, an international team of researchers was commissioned by the Club of Rome to build a computer simulation of the exponential economic and population growth on a finite planet. 50 years ago. And there's what's going on according to their predictions. Everything is following suit. The trend predicted by the 1972 study, the observed trend in black, (2030) population declines following economic collapse. Shocking. Global industrial output per capita peaks in 2008. Global food per capita peaks to now. Global services per capita peaks now. Global population peaks in 2030, followed by a rapid decline. Check out the article. Don't be scared, be prepared. Check out preparewiththeranch.com. Links are below. We have an Amazon preparedness store as well to get long-term food, storage, and survival gear. Hope you got something out of the video. Winter storm watches and warnings everywhere. Click on your county if you care. We love you. Be safe.